What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, which you probably are because everybody is new here, I'm new here, we're all new here. I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. Today is the second video in my series, Get the Most Out of Your Palette, where we discuss the Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I hope you enjoyed the last video that we did on this palette. It was really fun. I was so happy with the look and how it turned out. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and this is your first time here, go back to the playlist. I will link it up here as well as down below in the description box. If you wouldn't mind going back and taking a look-see at all those videos first before coming over here, that would be great. Then you'll kind of understand what we're doing in this series so I don't have to explain it every single time. You get me. So yes, today will be our second video where we dive into the Tarte and Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette, and I'm really excited actually. When I first got this palette, I used these shadows that we're going to use today in a look that I posted on Instagram. I will throw it up here if I have it. It got a lot of good response and it kind of made me realize like how creative you can get with eyeshadow. So I'm going to try and sort of give that look an upgrade today. I'm going to use the techniques that I know now to make sure that we get even better results than the first time I tried this look. It's kind of really nostalgic revisiting this palette because it was kind of the first palette that I started experimenting with different looks and different sort of eyeshadow techniques, and that is, you know, that was really special. This palette was one of the reasons I wanted to explore makeup on a deeper level. So without further ado, let's get started. So today we're going to be doing a grungy look with these bottom shadows right here. They're all in sort of the purple family, and I wanted to create sort of just like a regular good old smoky eye with these shadows, which I did the first time and they performed okay. I wanted to see if I could get something better out of them this time because I don't think I've dipped into them since then. As you can see, I've already done like my entire face makeup today already, just because like I wanted this video to just be just a tad shorter than the last one. I'm doing the same things. I tried the brows again. What do you think? I think I'm really getting the hang of it now, and also
guess who's back? Back again. Gimme brows back. Tell a friend.
Like I went to Sephora looking for a dupe for this product because I was still really heartbroken because I'd finally run out of my last tube of it and I wanted to cry. So I went in there and I asked one of the ladies there, hey, do you have any good recommendations for a replacement for Gimme Brow? And she was like, I'm pretty sure we have it. And I was like, what? I was so excited. So she just brings me over here to it's just sitting there. I just about cried. It is my absolute favorite brow gel. Having a fresh tube of it is just night and day, folks. So I just went ahead and like finished everything, like contour, blush, everything. All the products that I use will be obviously in the description box down below like usual. Let's just crack into this eye look straight away because that's what this is about. You don't need to see me do bronzer 10 times in a row. Okay, and yes, I've already put down the shade Crybaby, which is the neutral shade right in the center there, just to set everything because everything was creasing like fuck. So I'm gonna pull this in a little bit. What are we gonna take first? Because the lightest one in the palette is like a satin shimmer, and I don't know if I should be putting that in my crease, even though that is seemingly the transition shade for this trio of eyeshadows. So I don't know if I'm gonna risk it for the crease. I think instead I'm going to take Natural Peaches again and just throw that in my crease just as a transition because we need something. It's pretty warm, but maybe the contrast will be good with the purple. I don't know. And mainly this is just to add definition. So next we're gonna go into the deepest purple shade in this palette, which is called Mancat. And we're taking a smaller tapered blending brush and just packing that and fluffing it into the crease. This is not going the way I planned. I feel like where I want it to blend, like right in here, it's just kind of blending away from it. You know, it's like getting up here and down here, but it's kind of missing right in that crease where I want it to go. Just as I had feared, it's just kind of looking like mud. It's already going downhill. Why? I remember the shade being way more purple than this. Like even in the spot where I didn't put brown, like right down here, I remember this purple being way more purple. I honestly can't remember what I used as a transition shade the first time I tried this look. You know, now that I have used different brands of eyeshadow and like different palettes, I am kind of noticing that this Tarte palette in particular, which it probably isn't reflective of all their palettes because I actually don't own any other Tarte eyeshadow palettes, I'm now sort of noticing that these shadows are just a little harder to work with than like say a Morphe shadow. They're a bit drier. They have a bit more fallout. You have to dip in a lot of times to get the color payoff that you want, which, you know, is not necessarily a negative, since, you know, super duper pigmented shadows right off the hop when you're just starting out will be super intimidating and will just get everywhere. So I can understand why a less pigmented shadow would be kind of a good starting point for someone, because you can sort of build it. But that means you're also using a lot more product than you normally would. I can live with that for now. Why don't I ever know what my hair is doing? So I don't hate it, and that's sometimes the best we can ask for. I didn't expect to love everything that we got out of this palette, although I did have a little bit of higher expectations of this shadow in particular. We're gonna go in with this metallic purple shade in the palette, which is called Uncommon. It's not like the most metallic shade, but it has this sort of like smoky vibe to it that is really, really pretty. So we're gonna put that all over our lid. I think before I do anything else, because I don't think I want to fuck around with this, is I'm just gonna go straight in with my Too Faced glitter glue and pat that everywhere where I want the metallic shade. The more I'm using this palette, you know, the more I want to sort of redact the statement that I can get, you know, a very dramatic look out of it. It's actually kind of more of a casual sort of palette, although these shades are pretty grungy. Oh, there we go. Back to more or less what I was envisioning for this look. And it really does look like something that Bunny would put on her eyeballs. Yeah, it's pretty. I really like that. What I do like about this palette is that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what goes with what. It's laid out for you. It's pretty simple. Without too much knowledge, you can create looks that have a lot of versatility to them. What I'm trying to say is you don't need to be a makeup artist to get something out of this palette. That's something that really, you know, is really appealing. Okay, moving on. So now I'm going to go into the sort of more lilac-y taupe shade, which is called Haunting. I'm just gonna take that and, oh, it's really powdery though. So I'm gonna take a little bit of primer water, try and oil that. And we're just gonna pop that on the inner corner, hopefully. Ugh, no, that's not doing what I want it to. I'm gonna try and run it sort of just under here as well. I mean, it's not the best inner corner highlight because it's still pretty dark. It looks like it's going to be a little lighter than Uncommon, but when you put it on your lid, it kind of just turned to the same shade. It's really weird, except with a different finish. And maybe that's what they were going for, but I don't think so. Ugh, it's just kind of a nothing shade. It's not matte, it's not shimmer, it's not metallic, it's just there. And it kind of just looks like nothing. I'm just going to run that matte purple shade Man Cat onto my lower lash line. Out of the entire look today, Man Cat is definitely performing the best out of all the shades. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of Natural Peaches. I'm just gonna run that under as well. Geez, I wish I had something else to blend this shade out with. Let's pop some black in the waterline. And we're gonna tight line today because we want it to be super schmirky. Smoke it out. Let us move forward. I'm gonna do my liner and lashes off of camera, and when we come back, we will finish the look. Okay, it's on. So I just cut up a pair of these lashes. See how they're sort of like the peak is in the middle? I just sort of snipped off the two edges of the lash, inverted them, and then put them on the corner. So you just get a little baby wing lash today, which I thought would complement the liner that I was, you know, attempting to go for, which, you know, was super fun to screw up and then clean up later on. I'm gonna take my Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in Smoke and Whistles, which is kind of pinky. I feel like I look like a drag queen today a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's just not what I envisioned when I sat down. Okay, then I think over top of that, I'm just going to take a combination of Pink Heart and Blue Moon. I'm gonna mix those two together and then go over top of that. All right, well, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that to highlight the brow bone. And touching the inner corner as well. Oh, my inner corner is such a mess today. Let's put on a bit of Milani because it makes me feel better. I just feel like I look bad today. You know, what's the word? Unattractive. I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild liquid catsuit in Berry Recognize. Maybe that'll tie the whole look together. Probably not. all things aside, this is a fucking beautiful, beautiful shade. Oh my god. I feel like night and day has happened. I have never felt so viscerally unhappy with my makeup on my face that I felt forced to physically just remove it and fix it before I could step out in public or even finish this video. I was going to sign off and that would be it. That was it. That was gonna be the end of the video. How fucking depressing would that be? You can always fix something. Obviously, yeah, it's not perfect. My inner corners are on fire from all the makeup removal I had to do and all the fixing I had to do with Q-tips, but like, jeez, was it worth it? Oh my god. I feel like I look 100% better. And then I went and like finished off my freckles and my blush, and suddenly I was like, oh my god, thank god, I feel like me again. I don't know what I was thinking with that eyeliner. Maybe I should just try something new in front of this camera for the first time ever. Now we can go ahead and finish the video. Let's cue the narcissistic montage and go. That is about all I can handle for the night. I feel like I have too many layers of makeup on. I feel like tonight was a long ass video. I started at like fucking 5. It is now like 9:30. It was just supposed to be a simple eye look. I don't know why it took this long. I don't necessarily think that my attitude is the palette's fault. As far as the palette goes, as far as the eyeshadows go that we tried today, they worked fine-ish. Barring Haunting, which is definitely my least favorite of the day. You know, Uncommon and Mankind were really cute. They worked well enough and they blended okay, and the metallic shade's nice. So as far as like this palette goes, which is, you know, the point of this video, it worked out fine. And that's the important part, is that we made these shadows work in a way that I feel, you know, okay about it. Despite all of my struggles, we got a look out of it, and for the most part, I'm happy with how it turned out. I think I'll get one more look out of this palette. I think 3 is good enough to showcase all the shades in the palette, and then we'll move on to something else. Let me know in the comments below which palette you would like to see next. I will throw this picture up right now, the one I put on my Instagram a little while ago, which by the way is at Madelaide. You should go follow me there also. After this palette, I think it'd be nice to do something with a little bit more color in it. I do love all of your guys' feedback, so please leave me one telling me what you think of this look, what you think of this video, what you think of this series, what you think of this palette so far. Anything and everything, just lay it all on me. I would love to hear your thoughts and what you have to say. If you'd like to see this mess more often in your life, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. I promise that not all my videos end in disaster. I promise I do good face things to myself. And since as of right now I do not have an uploading schedule, if you want to be notified every time that I upload a video, just hit that bell icon down below and you will be notified every time I do that. Also, if you enjoyed this video, which I hope you enjoyed it more than I did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, have a couple beers, and generally just enjoy life. Please, please be kind and be generous to everyone you meet out there in the world today, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Okay.